Hello, friends. Welcome to another Extraordinary Connection devotion. I'm Pastor Scott, and I'm glad you're here. Today, I want to share with you the accidental story of Percy Spencer. Percy was one of those children drawn to physics and math, and as a child, he would grab every textbook he could, diving in and teaching himself advanced science topics that the local school never could. After high school, Percy joined the Navy, and thankfully, they put him into radio technology, which further fueled his passions. By 1939, Spencer was the leading person in the world on radio tube designs. See, just before World War II, scientists began to observe a phenomenon where, if you bounce pulses of microwave radio energy off of metal, you would be able to detect the presence and location of ships or aircraft from a long distance away. And Spencer was right in the middle of it. His research and work was critical to the designing of systems that made radar work, in particular the vacuum tubes to power and receive the signals coming back. Spencer was employed at Raytheon, a key military contractor in their laboratory, to keep working on radar systems. So his job was to make them more accurate and stronger. One day, Spencer was in one of the labs working on radar systems near a magnetron, which is a real specialized tube that amplifies the microwaves and makes the signal stronger. And after they fired up the magnetron and were analyzing the data, he put his hands in his pockets thoughtfully and discovered that the chocolate bar he had put in there earlier was melted, completely melted. Spencer put two and two together, realized that the microwaves from the magnetron had melted the snack in his pocket. And his mind racing, he organized more experiments to see if other foods or liquids could be heated up near microwaves. And by 1947, Raytheon sold their first microwave oven, which stood 6 feet tall, weighed 750 pounds, and cost $5,000. All because Spencer was in the right place at the right time and just happened to have a bar of chocolate in his pocket too. All coincidences, right? Maybe. See, I believe that sometimes the things we write off as chance or luck or coincidence are really the work of the Holy Spirit. Now, yes, I don't know if the Holy Spirit was nudging Spencer that day. I don't know if he always had a bar of chocolate in his pocket. But I do know that in my life, there are moments, chance encounters, phone calls, and the perfect timing events that, to me, luck just doesn't explain it. They are the work of the Holy Spirit. Just before I started recording this devotion, I shot a note off to the local juvenile center to see if we can find some way to restart our Bible study there. And my contact said, I was just thinking the same thing and had been working on things from my end. And on Tuesday night, I received word that a prisoner had been hospitalized. So yesterday I called the hospital, got her room, and I talked to her and prayed with her just minutes before her surgery. I'm sure you've had similar things happen in your life. Someone who's been on your heart for a while, that person you've been wondering how they're doing, well, they end up right behind you at the grocery store. You've been thinking it might be time to get more involved in the church, and before you can even say anything to your pastor, he or she asks you to volunteer. These moments, these opportunities, I believe, are put into our life again and again. I believe they are gifts from the Holy Spirit, chances for us to help build up God's kingdom, to bring healing to the sick, to feed the hungry, to clothe the naked, to show the world the way of Christ, to love without cost. What changes is how sensitive we are to those opportunities and whether we choose to say yes to the opportunities given to us by the Holy Spirit. It is always our choice to say yes to the pastor or hello to that person behind us at the grocery store line. In John chapter 16, Jesus said, I have many things to tell you, but you can't handle them now. But when the friend comes, the Spirit of truth, he will take you by the hand and guide you into all truth there is. The Spirit is your guide. The Spirit will put the name of a friend on your heart and then quietly, gently nudge you to reach out. The Spirit will give you the words to say when you don't know what to say. But it's always up to you to speak in the first place. The Spirit will guide you and direct you and put those coincidences in your path. The question is, will you do anything about them? And I'll see you next week at extraordinaryconnection.org.